All right, welcome back, everybody, to the show to get you in the know. Saints pregame show, along with some NFL around the league talk. Starting things off, we'll just go straight into Saints. We got Thursday night football against the Jaguars in the Dome. Thursday night football feels hectic for a city like New Orleans, especially in the
Mm.
Dome, but we're doing it. How you feeling this week? Short week. You think offensive line changes? Demario Davis questionable originally. A lot going on for a short week, but how you feeling going into the game?
I feel hopeful. I know they just announced that Trevor Lawrence is going to be starting tonight. And I'm sure that defensively, like we've been preparing for that all week. So, hopefully he's got 3 interceptions this year. Hopefully our defense can, pick up another one. The defense holds up. As we all know, we just need the offense to just give us a little something, maybe it'll happen tonight.
Yeah, it feels like we keep waiting for that breakout game, and it hasn't happened yet. I mean, the talent is obviously there, and we just have to make the talent make sense, And um, I definitely agree. I think the defense will be fine. I think the defense was game planning, and I think anybody who thought Trevor Lawrence wasn't going to play is a little bit crazy. Just
Mhm.
because Jacksonville is having a pretty good year. They're 4-2, heading to this Thursday night matchup. I'd be lying if I told you I knew their conference standings, but I have to imagine 4-2 is up there. So they're doing good. They got a good season, and if you think he's
Mhm.
gonna sit out and not play with a brace, I think people were crazy for thinking that. So Dennis Allen and the Saints were prepping
Yeah.
for him 100%. So we'll kind of hop into my keys to the game real quick. So first one is simplify the offensive blocking and schemes. It's been no secret that the offensive line has struggled. A lot of moving pieces, a lot of stuff going on. Some people said it was due to the new offensive line coordinator, offensive line coach, and his schemes were a little bit different.
Mhm.
There was a replay floating around Twitter and Instagram where the left guard, on a play where every other offensive lineman went right, the guard went straight up the field and just was looking for someone that, if it was passing play, he'd have been ineligible man downfield easily.
Right. Mhm.
So I think we just got to simplify it, right? Like it sounds ridiculous, but maybe just one game on a short week, we just say block straight, block left,
Yeah.
like
What a
just let their
concept.
exactly, yeah. Like it doesn't feel like it should be rocket science, but it feels like they're making it rocket science.
Mhm.
Number two, it's something that I wanted them to do last week against the young quarterback, and they didn't. But blitz Trevor Lawrence. He's got one good leg right now. He's
Yep.
wearing a brace. He's not going to want to go. He's still going to run. He's still young. He's still fast. But I just don't see him wanting to run from the pressure very often. So I think we should add another guy. Very late in games, you see Pete Warner blitz more often. I think we need
Mhm.
to flip that. I think we need to, force them to make Trevor be Trevor early on. So, and then the last one, shorten the route running and stick with the run. Again, it feels like we abandoned the run early. We got Jamal Williams back.
Right.
He's he's an energy guy too. I don't think he's shy at all, which is good for
Right.
with his offensive scheme might need right now. But you still have AK and Jamal. So and then shorten the route running. It's a short week. You don't want your wide receivers who just ran, probably 500 yards in routes last week, just 4 days ago. You don't want them running all around the field. So let's shorten the routes, stick with the run, and play this Thursday night football game the way Thursday night football should be probably played.
Mhm.
Run the ball, simple, and just make it treat it like a preseason game. So those are my keys to the game. We'll kind of hop into a little bit of a forward look. We have obviously the Saints and the Jaguars Thursday night football, so that's what we're doing here. You got any games on the Sunday slate or maybe that Monday night game, the Vikings against the 49ers? Any games that are kind of on your radar?
I'm really interested right now in our divisional games. What does our division do? Because we're in such a close bad race because so many have poor records. Um yeah, I'm interested in what our division does this week. Obviously, Sunday we'll be able just to watch whatever games we want because we won't have any Saints playing
Right.
that day. And then also definitely interested in that 49ers game. Um, watching Brock Purdy's obviously been just a treat. And then they finally lost the game. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how they rebound with that and what they do, especially playing on the Monday Night Football stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And I very, very rarely say this, but I'll be cheering for the Falcons just because I see the Buccaneers having a better record at the end of the season. And
Mhm.
we already lost to the Bucks, so we need to make up some ground, and the Falcons can
Right.
help us out by beating them. And then we still have the Falcons twice, close to each other at the end of the year. I think it's like week 12 and then week 17, or week 18 now. Not the last week of the season
Yeah,
anymore, but
last week. Yep.
yeah, we need the Falcons to win. Frankly, the division's still very tight. Obviously, the Panthers. You know,
Yeah.
I made a comment that they could go undefeated after this game, but I don't expect them to. And then it
No.
looked like they were going to win against a very good team, and then wound up
Mhm.
losing and did what we expected them to do. But yeah, divisional games are very important right now for a division that seems very crowded in the middle of the run.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
but yeah, I'm right there with you. It's going to be interesting to see if the 49ers bounce back. And then the battle of the speedy young teams. We got the Eagles and the Dolphins for Sunday night football. That should be a lot of fun to watch. So they're just
Yeah.
two very electric teams. So we'll kind of hop into just like fantasy and betting. I don't really have a lot of fantasy advice because I'm awful at fantasy. So we'll just do betting. Give me your anytime touchdown score for tonight's game.
I'm going with Kamara. I mean, I think with us needing to really focus on that run game, I just see him wanting to shine tonight and get that offense going. So I'm definitely going with Kamara for that.
Okay, I like it. Yeah. I I almost I made a joke in our group chat earlier that I like Jamal Williams for kind of a dark horse touchdown, and I still do. I just feel like you get it. There's been so many times the Saints get it within like the 5 yards, and Taysom disappears. The tight ends aren't on the field
Mhm.
anymore. We're trying to run three routes with wide receivers. I just really think if you give the ball to Jamal Williams on the 5 yard line and run it three times in a row, he's going to find the end zone. But I don't want to choose him as like my only option. So I'm gonna go against the grain a little bit, and just kind of go the other way. I think I don't know why, but I feel like we're going to force Trevor out of the pocket pretty often, and he's going to
Mhm.
sneak one in the end zone, even with that bad knee.
Yeah.
It's I feel like it's the one kryptonite our defense has is just running quarterbacks seem to get away from us. We like to put pressure up the middle, and I feel like he's going to sneak one in on us. So that's going to be mine. But I do love the Kamara. I think he deserves it at this point. Feels like Michael Thomas as well, where we just keep waiting
Yep.
for that one catch that's going to really mean something
Yeah.
to him. And just like Foster got his 2 weeks ago,
Right.
touchdown, in the for him. So, but yeah, other than that, we got the divisional matchups like we talked about, Falcons, Buccaneers, and then I believe this is the Panthers bye week. I feel like it is. Let me check the schedule real quick.
I think you're right about that. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like it's their bye week, so we don't have to worry. Well, we don't really have to worry about them anyway. I'm sorry to any Panthers fans listening, but yeah, we need a bounce back game. We need to make this game matter,
Mhm.
and just that's pretty much it for me as far as the Saints game go. I don't know if you have anything else on the Saints game itself.
No, I really don't. I know we kind of touched on it, but watching the offensive line with us having some, guys out and just actually some surprises there of who is playing tonight. That's going to be a big key because if they struggle, then our run game's going to struggle and then Carr's going to be getting beat up all night. So that's going to maybe be the biggest factor in how do things go this evening for us.
Yeah, I know. We posted that the Derek Carr was nominated for the FedEx Air Player of the Week, and people were like, "Did you watch the game?" And it's like,
Right.
I'm just putting out what's reported, right? But I mean, it is crazy. I mean, the guy's got a bad AC joint. There's two guys in the league. I'm not going to say their names that are struggling with AC joint injuries right now. One's having a surgery, and
Hmm.
Carr's out there throwing 52 times on a
Yeah.
bad AC joint. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. He shouldn't be
No.
able to do that. So I don't have any doubt in my mind that it's, they said last week after the game, Kamara said that Demario Davis kind of told guys that they need to lock in because he doesn't
Hmm.
feel that everybody's doing the same thing off the field that you're doing on the field. They wouldn't say who they were talking about. That's a smart locker room, smart veteran decisions to not
Right.
out publicly. But yeah, I mean, when you have decisions happening like, Trevor Penning getting benched, he's a first round draft pick, offensive line movement
Right.
all around. You have a guy coming up from the practice squad who hasn't played right tackle in 73 years or something crazy like that. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game to say the least. Just a lot of moving parts. So other than that, we'll do one quick anytime touchdown score around the league. I'm not gonna make you think too far on it. I'm just gonna pull up some current odds for the rest of the league, around the league, I should say. So I'm just going to pick some names off the top of the thing here. We have Raheem Mostert at plus 102. That doesn't look too bad. Aaron Jones at 115. I don't know if I love that, but
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Brian Robinson. I think he is kind of overdue. He had a solid start to the year. And I think it's time for him to get into the end zone again. And he's like plus 150, which is phenomenal odds for him, I think. But around the league, who do you think is going to score a touchdown? Just one pick is all
I think that Burrow and Chase are really just starting to heat up. So I could see a connection there happening this week.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, Chase is Louisiana product, right? So love to see him succeed as long as it's not against the Saints. But
exactly.
Cool. All right. Well, we're going to keep this week short just because it's Thursday Night Football. Everybody's kind of on a crunch schedule, and on top of the Saints having a reduced week as well. So anything else for party?
Nope. I think we're good. Just who dat and let's go Saints.
Absolutely. Who dat. Thanks everybody for tuning in.